The following is a presentation of Muddy River Sports.
Well, we've gone indoors today to talk outdoors because that's what happens when you got to do Schuck on a Truck Zoom edition when your guest is in Montana. And that's where Alex Stratman is right now. This is Schuck on a Truck, brought to you by Schuck Toyota. And I'm joined today by Quincy High School graduate and now professional outdoor guide, Alex Stratman. What's up, buddy?
Hey, not a whole lot. How are you doing today?
I'm dandy. How are you?
Can't complain. Living every day.
I say it looks beautiful where you're at right now.
Yeah, it's real pretty. It just depends on the wind. There's some pretty big fires up in Bozeman right now, so it can get pretty smoky down here. But today seems like it's not one of those days yet. So,
okay, so where are you located for the summer?
I'm in West Yellowstone, Montana.
Okay, that's right. I thought that's where you were. And you're working as a
Yep.
guide with Big Sky Anglers, is that right?
I'm just working in the shop this year mostly.
Okay.
But I'm doing a whole lot of fishing and all that. So,
Okay, and but that's kind of the reason you went out there is to get experience, to
yeah.
get more involved in whether it's the guiding business, the outdoor business, the fishing business, whatever it is. That's what you did, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's hard to jump into things out here because there's so many rivers that we're fishing out here right now. And just taking a drift boat out there, with them up in the flows and dropping the flows out of the dams and everything.
Right.
Just if you don't really know what you're doing, it's pretty hard to do.
So how much have you learned in just a couple months out there?
I learned a lot in like the first 2 weeks I was here than what I would have thought. But in 2 months, and I mean, you're still learning. I mean, like right now, with the way the weather is out here, it's so warm that they're actually closing down a lot of the rivers out here because the water's too warm. It puts a lot of stress on the fish.
Yeah.
And then they're doing something called hoot owl, which is you can't fish from 2 o'clock till 10 p.m. in the afternoon. And they're doing that with a lot of the rivers around here right now, too.
Wow, that's got to affect Big Sky's business with people wanting to come in and fish, doesn't it?
It can. I mean, luckily, a lot of it's in Yellowstone National Park, which, I mean, the shop is 5 minutes from the gate here.
Okay.
And so a lot of those rivers that are on this side of the park have been shut down for the last 2 weeks now. But everything in the northeast corner of the park, they're starting to shut down. But like the Madison here, which is where we do a lot of our fishing, and then on the Henry's Fork, it's down in Idaho. All
Okay.
that's still open right now, but there's a good chance that it could get hoot owled here pretty quick. And that really might put a hurting on some of the business and some of our guide trips that we got going on.
Yeah. So how much fishing are you doing right now? Every day?
Yeah. Last week I fished every day before work. And then I was off yesterday and Monday and I fished both days too.
So now obviously you're trout fishing out there. Are you just fishing for trout or are you fishing for other things?
Fishing for trout. Yeah. There's a couple of places down in Idaho where like you can catch carp on like a fly rod and smallmouth and stuff like that. But the fishing up here is so good right now. It's just kind of hard to venture out and try to do some of that because those are on my bucket list, but just the trout fishing's as good as it's going to get right now.
Are you slaying them every day?
It depends on the day. Some days aren't as good as the others, but most days it's pretty good. I mean, every day's good on the water out here. I mean, you're on the river and, you look in front of you, there's a mountain in front of you, there's a mountain behind you too. So, I mean, it's just the views are what's great out here.
Yeah. Well, and your Joe Moore, who runs Big Sky Anglers, you're related to, is that how this came about?
Sorta. I mean, guide season just got done back home and I was just hanging out at the house and I saw that they were hiring on Facebook. And so I shot him a text and was like, hey, I want to apply. And he was actually, he was going to, I think he was hosting one of our South American trips that we do. He's getting ready to leave for that. And he put me in touch with our manager out here and he's like, talk to him. And he's like, and he'll get you all squared away. And so I did the whole interview process and then came out here within a week and a half of being done guiding turkeys back home.
And it's been worth it, hasn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. I never really wanted to like leave home per se. And then I saw this opportunity came about and it's one of those things where I'm glad I did it. And wherever this takes me, I'm ready to kind of go wherever.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is Schuck on a Truck, the Zoom edition. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Schuckman, talking with Quincy High School graduate Alex Stratman, who is a hunting guide back here in Illinois, but this summer he's working in a fly shop out in West Yellowstone, Montana, and living the good life. Now, how did you get involved in the outdoors? Because I know, obviously know me being friends with your dad, Eric, and all these years. He wasn't an outdoorsman like when you guys were little. So how did you get involved?
No, not at all. So all my grandfathers hunted, and my uncle Scott hunted a lot.
Right.
And so just seeing them do a lot of hunting, it kind of gave me a little bit of a passion to where I said I wanted to do it. And then I started hunting when I was about 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
And then from then it just took off and just kind of blew up.
Well,
And now it's, yeah, go ahead.
Well, and you got your dad involved in it too, to where he started learning about the outdoors.
Yeah. He calls me Babe Winkleman because he thinks I know everything, which I know I don't, but I like to think I do a lot of the time.
Now, I haven't talked to him recently. Has he come out and visited you?
They're coming out the first week of August.
Okay,
they haven't
good.
been out. He's ready to come out. He's been wanting to come out. And I'm just like, you're not going to see anything better than what you have out here. I mean, we've been to Estes Park and he wants to retire out there.
Right.
But I know when he comes out here, that's totally going to flip and he'll probably end up wanting to be out here a bunch, I'm sure.
So it's been 15 years since my wife and I went to Yellowstone and did that trip. And it was stunning. I'm so ready to come. I've been ready every year to come back.
Yeah. I know it's definitely, I mean, I haven't been a tourist out here per se, because I know my family's coming out here, so I'll just do it with them when they get out here.
Right.
But I've done a lot of fishing in the park. In the park, there's really good fishing, and just being in there, and I don't think I have any pictures or anything, but one of the rivers we fished was called the Firehole River, and there was a whole group of bison that were just feeding in the valley right behind us as we were just fishing there, and it's like, you can't get that. I mean, you could get that somewhere else, but not as beautiful as what that was, I don't think.
That's incredible. That would be majestic.
It was. I mean, you have the elk, and then you have, you see a few moose here and there. Like the other night I was going fishing and a bunch of people were pulled off on the side of the road, and I asked a guy, I was like, what is everybody pulled over for? And he goes, there's a bull moose down there.
Oh, wow.
And so just driving by, he was 60 yards off the road, and there he was just standing there looking at the road, and it was just beautiful to see.
That's incredible. Now, do you have a fishing spot picked out to take your dad when he comes out there?
I've got a couple. I mean, there's a couple spots I really want to take him, but then again, it also depends on if it's open or not. With the way the weather's looking, some of the spots might be limited, but I got a couple of good spots where it's real pretty in there, whether if you don't catch fish or not. But the fishing in there can be really, really good too if it's on,
awesome. Good. Now, I know the summer will come to an end, and you're going to come back to Illinois when that's the case, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll be back and guiding deer hunting again this year.
Okay.
And trying to do a little hunting with myself mixed in if I can, but we'll see how that goes.
What do you get out of guiding? I know it's a business and you make money in doing that, but what's the thrill of guiding for you?
I would have to say sharing the passion. A lot of people have asked me, because this is my first year guiding back home, and they were like, what was your favorite trip this year? And I had a lot of guys, we had a lot of good guys in camp, that make it really fun. And then you have guys, that, they hunt hard and they kill a big mature buck and all that. But my favorite trip at the end of the year this year was I had a father and son that came in, and the young man had high functioning autism.
Okay.
And he didn't know a whole lot, but he asked me a million questions, and you don't see that very much, especially with somebody who has a disability like that.
Yeah.
That's wanting to pursue something that you love and cherish. And to me, that is what guiding is all about, is sharing that with people.
That's neat. You really have found your passion, haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
That's it. Now, do you foresee this, whether it's in Montana or Illinois or wherever you go, you want to turn this into a career, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's already in set that this is what I'm doing, but it's just where will I end up when it comes, it's I wanted to really do it back home. That was
Yeah.
kind of my thing, but now it's like, okay, now I'm doing this out here. Where will I end up? But this is something too where I can have a career back home and I can have a career out here too.
Well, and that's the beauty of the different seasons and the different type of hunting or
Yeah.
fishing that goes on in different areas that you don't have to sit in one spot year round when you're
Hmm.
working in the outdoors.
Yeah, say a lot of our guides here, when they're done guiding trout here, they'll go and guide down in the Keys, and they'll do a bunch of tarpon and permit fishing down there. And some of our guys, they'll even go to South America and guide there.
That's incredible. That's awesome. Well, dude, I know you got stuff to do today. But man, it looks like you're having a blast out there and it looks beautiful behind you. I wish I was there with you right
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's great. Every day is beautiful when you're waking up and driving and seeing mountains and all that.
Well, good. Well, I look forward to seeing you when you come back. Maybe we can hook up this winter and we'll do a story or talk about guiding or do something during
Yeah.
deer season to have a little fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds good. I'd appreciate that.
Okay. Now make sure you take care of your dad when he comes out. Don't push him in the river. I know you'll be tempted because I know he's a smart ass and he'll
Yeah.
do something, but
Yeah. Oh
try
yeah.
to take care of him.
Oh, I will. I'm sure he'll probably fall in because it's the water's pretty slick out here. They don't know, but I've fallen in twice this year, and one of them was probably the crazy. I knew it was a risky jump too. I was jumping from rock to rock as we were fishing in the dark, looking for rising fish, and I knew I was like, I'm either gonna make it or I'm going in. And sure enough, I went all the way in.
Yeah, but the good thing is you got out.
Yeah, yeah, luckily. But I tell you what, that water's cold. It's 55, 60 degrees, and it was a bit of a shock coming out of there.
Well, awesome. Well, keep sharing the pictures. I love seeing the pictures of what you're catching out there, and
Oh yeah.
look forward to
Yeah, I got
catching
a
up.
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch I'm getting ready. I'll probably post here at the end of the month just from the month of July, and a lot of them are some of the prettiest pictures I have in my phone. But
Awesome.
I next year I think I will get an actual camera to really show like what the beauty is out here. I mean, it's insane.
Well, maybe we can find a way to get me out there with my camera gear next year, and we can come up with a way
Yeah.
to have some fun with that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
So awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Really look forward to catching up with you when you're home, and keep slaying it. You're doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, thank you. I will. You can believe
Uh,
that.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, for Alex Stratman, I'm Matt Schuckman. This has been another episode of Schuck on a Truck, the Zoom edition, brought to you by Schottenkirk Toyota.
Muddy River Sports. Our home, our sports.